If he's still fighting, we're still fighting. Charlie GARD'S parents post defiant picture from his bedside as pressure now grows on Theresa May to step in after Donald Trump pledged his support to their cause. Charlie GARD'S defiant parents have told supporters they are still fighting to save him after Donald Trump offered the little boy free treatment in America. Theresa May is today facing increasing pressure to make a moral intervention after the U.S. president gave his support as doctors prepare to turn off his life support. His message of hope came hours after Pope Francis said Connie Yates and Chris GARD should be allowed to accompany and treat their child until the end. The pontiff also tweeted, "To defend human life, above all when it is wounded by illness, is a duty of love that God outrusts to all." Last night the 10-month-old's mother Miss Yates said on Facebook after Mr. Trump's intervention, "If he's still fighting, we're still fighting." XXX single quote. But critics have accused Mr. Trump of offering false hope to Charlie's family who face losing their son after exhausting their legal battle with Great Ormond Street, who will not accept that traveling to the U.S. is in Charlie's best interests. Chris GARD and Connie Yates released this new picture of their son Charlie and are overwhelmed after Donald Trump and the Pope offered their support. The U.S. president tweeted, "If we can help little Charlie GARD, as per our friends in the UK and the Pope, we would be delighted to do so." Miss Yates responded to Mr. Trump's offer of free treatment by saying they are still fighting for their son. Dr. Sarah Wollaston, the Tory chairman of the Commons Health Select Committee, said the U.S. president was wrong to offer the treatment and said it was a political decision as he tries to dismantle Obamacare. But Charlie's parents, who won an 11th-hour reprieve for their son on Friday, still hope the Prime Minister will intervene. In a statement their spokesman said, "Chris and Connie are overwhelmed with emotion that President Trump and the Pope have spoken publicly of their support. Their kind words have given them so much comfort. They remain at Charlie's bedside and his condition remains stable." But they also released a new photograph of the family together as supporters around the world demanded another chance for their son. Overnight members of the so-called Charlie's Army urged Great Ormond Street to drop their case and allow him to fly to the U.S. And many tweeted the Prime Minister directly, including pop star Cher, who said, "If the U.S. can save precious Charlie GARD, then send him to us." Sarah Vini tweeted, "Ironic how the USA leader at Real Donald Trump gets involved but at Theresa_May the UK leader hasn't. Same old." Paulina Sagan wrote to Mrs. May and said, "I urge you to get involved. Not sure what to do? Listen to the world. It speaks for Charlie." Karen Stevenson tweeted her, "Trump and Pope Francis have spoken out for Charlie GARD. Where is your voice?" And Natalie Dent said, "Thanks at Real Donald Trump for your support, at Theresa_May do the right thing and #Safeguard GARD." Mr. Trump has risked a diplomatic row by declaring America's support for saving Charlie GARD. The president's tweet, which had 4,000 retweets and 12,000 likes within 20 minutes of being posted at 3 p.m., comes after Pope Francis called for the parents of the baby to be allowed to accompany and treat their child until the end. The Vatican said the Pope is following with affection and sadness the case of little Charlie GARD and expresses his closeness to his parents. For this he prays that their wish to accompany and treat their child until the end is not neglected. He joined the Pope in vowing to help the desperately ill baby boy as British doctors prepare to withdraw his life support. Mr. GARD and Miss Yates are spending the last days of their son's life with him, after being given more time before treatment is withdrawn. Campaigners have pledged their support to the GARD family, pictured on social media using hashtags and blue heart emoticons. Charlie's parents desperately wanted their son, pictured, to undergo treatment in America. Mr. Trump says he can secure it if they can get to the U.S. The couple, from Bedfont, West London, raised £1.4 million so they could take their son to get treatment in the U.S., but were told by 3 UK courts they were not allowed. In a final blow, the European Court of Human Rights said last month that Charlie's life support would be turned off and they could not take him to America. Members of the White House administration have spoken to the couple and Trump offered to help them in the heartbreaking situation. But Washington sources said yesterday that the American hospital and doctor had agreed to waive their fees. Last night, Charlie's parents Connie Yates, 31, and Chris Gard, 32, said the support of the Pope and the U.S. President had left them overwhelmed with emotion. They are spending the final days of their son's life with him, after being given extra time to say their goodbyes. The White House said President Trump was trying to be helpful, but his intervention in a tweet yesterday afternoon is a challenge to British and European judges who have ruled that Charlie, who was born 11 months ago today, must be allowed to die. His parents' desire to take him to the U.S. have been blocked by the High Court, Appeal Court, Supreme Court and European Court of Human Rights, which backed Great Ormond Street doctors who say he has no hope and should be allowed to die. Charlie is thought to be one of only 16 children in the world with mitochondrial depletion syndrome, which causes progressive muscle weakness and brain damage. He has irreversible brain damage, his lungs cannot function without a ventilator, and he cannot see, hear, move, cry or swallow. Yesterday President Trump ordered White House officials to make contact with Charlie's family, and tweeted, "If we can help Charlie Gard, as per our friends in the UK and the Pope, we would be delighted to do so." But his intervention was met with exasperation in some quarters of Whitehall, with No 10 calling it a delicate case. The Ministry of Justice said court rulings against Charlie's parents were made by an independent judiciary and there was no basis to challenge them. Prime Minister Theresa May's spokesman said, "This is a very delicate case and it would be inappropriate to discuss it further at this stage. Our thoughts are with Charlie and his family." Charlie's parents said they had been denied their final wish to be able to take their son home to die and felt let down after losing their legal fight. Charlie's parents, pictured together, hoped that judges in France would come to their aid after losing battles in the High Court, Court of Appeal and Supreme Court in London. President Trump's tweet, which was liked 40,000 times within 2 hours, came after Pope Francis offered his own backing. The Vatican said the Pope is following with affection and sadness the case of little Charlie Gard and expresses his closeness to his parents. For this he prays that their wish to accompany and treat their child until the end is not neglected. Last night a White House spokesman said, upon learning of baby Charlie Gard's situation, President Trump has offered to help the family in this heartbreaking situation. Charlie, who suffers from a rare genetic condition and has brain damage, is being cared for at Great Ormond Street Hospital, GARD'S, in London. The little boy has been at the center of a lengthy legal battle between his parents, who wanted him to undergo a therapy trial in the U.S., and specialists at the hospital who said the treatment was experimental and would not help. On Friday a picture of the couple sleeping on either side of their son in hospital was posted on their Twitter account alongside the hashtags #JustWithCharlieGard #Charlies Fight #LetCharlieGoHome. The couple released an emotional video a day earlier saying they had been told Charlie would die on Friday. They said they had been denied their final wish to be able to take their son home to die and felt let down after losing their legal fight. The hospital later confirmed it was putting plans in place for his care. Charlie's plight has touched many people and the family received donations totaling more than £1.3 million to take him to the US for therapy. Monsignor Vincenzo Paglia of the Vatican's Pontifical Academy for Life issued a statement saying, "Dear Charlie, dear parents Chris Gard and Connie Yates, we are praying for you and with you." He also drew criticism for saying the parents' wishes should be respected, but that they must also be helped to understand the unique difficulty of their situation. Campaigners have pledged their support to the family on social media using hashtags and blue heart emoticons. Charlie's parents, both in their 30s and from Bedfont, West London, had asked European court judges in Strasbourg, France, to consider their case. On Sunday campaigners carrying a banner that said "It's murder" gathered outside Buckingham Palace to protest against the court's decision. Other posters with pictures of Charlie said "Where there's life, there's hope and parental rights."